Or maybe it's back in time to meet Queen Victoria herself.
Knowing him will probably bring her here for a lecture.
Good morning, class. Sorry for the delay. I found something extraordinary in the archives.
May I ask something? What is it, sir?
A set of personal letters written by people who lived through one of history's greatest changes, the rise of Victorian middle class.
Letters like love letters.
Not quite, Amos. Letters of hope, struggle, and ambition.
It was the 19th century, a time of factories, inventions, and new dreams. Britain, under Queen Victoria's reign, stood tall and powerful, but beneath the grandeur of the empire, a new class of people was quietly rising. The middle class, born from hard work.
Fresh tea, sugar, cloth, and hope. My husband even says, someday we may even afford a piano. Imagine that!
A piano. I currently hear them from my master house. Still, I'm grateful for my wages.
Progress, ladies, progress. Factories like mine are the pride of Britain. Steam engines, railways, machines, all pushing our country forward.
Yes, sir. It's good for business. People want better homes, furniture, even books. We middle folks are learning how to live properly.
Daughter goes to school, charity, school now. She can live better than I am.
Education, that's what will shape the new Britain.
The Industrial Revolution changed everything. Farmers moved to cities as factories filled the skies with smoke, while the rich stayed wealthy and the workers labored hard. A new group rose, the middle class. Shopkeepers, teachers, clerks, and factory owners valued education, respectability, and family. They believed success came not from birth, but from effort.
So the middle class worked their way up.
Exactly. They built factories, opened banks, wrote novels, and ran newspapers.
But didn't people doubt them first?
Oh, they did. The aristocrats saw them as new money without noble blood, but over time, wealth and education earned them respect.
So the middle class became powerful through business and learning?
Yes, in 1870, the Education Act made basic schooling available to all children. Knowledge became power.
So if I study hard, I can be one of them.
In a way, yes. The same spirit built the modern law. This was written by a boy named Edward, the son of a middle-aged family in 1860. Listen, before I tell you what is inside this letter, I'm going to introduce you guys to your new teacher.
Sir, you're gonna leave us?
Sadly, yes. I'm going to an exhibition of my favorite things. So guys, I want you to meet Miss Rosalinda. Soon to be Miss Rosalinda Lewis.
Good afternoon, class. I'm going to be your new teacher in history class. It's sad to say that Mr. Lewis had to let us. He told me a lot of good things about you guys.
Good afternoon, ma'am. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Bye class, I'm leaving na. Be good to your new teacher.
I heard Mr. Lewis left a ton of letters for you guys to read. So, let's hear it from a boy named Edward.
Dear Father, I am studying hard at Mr. Mills Academy. One day, I hope to become a clerk at the railway company. Mother says we must be respectable, that I should dress neatly, speak politely, and work honestly. We are not noble, but we are proud. I want to make you and England proud too.
Wow, you sounded so determined.
That determination, that hunger of respect defined the middle class.
It's kind of inspiring, isn't it? From normal family to leaders of society.
The middle class didn't just grow in wealth. They shaped values, punctualities, cleanliness, morality, faith. And hard work became ideals that spread throughout the nation.
I've heard some workers are demanding for shorter hours.
Yes, they want 10 hours instead of 14. But if I give them that, the production slows.
Perhaps it's time to change, sir. You've been well. Maybe it's time to help them live better too.
Sound like one of those reformers.
Maybe progress isn't just about machines. Maybe it's about people.
By the mid-Victorian period, reforms shaped the nation. The middle class backed laws for better health, housing, and education. They supported women's learning, fair trade, and science, guiding Britain's expanding yet conscience-driven empire.
We'll continue this by tomorrow. Remember, history isn't just about what people had, but what they believed in. Goodbye, class.
Guys, let's study together at my place tonight. We can turn it into a Victorian style sleepover.
As long as there's food. Imagine living in 1800s. No phone, no car, no Wi-Fi.
But maybe, or meaning, they work for everything they had. You know what, guys? Let's just review one more topic before we sleep.
My people have built an empire not by birth, but by belief. Let every man and woman know progress belongs to be diligent.
We're in the Victorian era again.
Look, the Great Exhibition.
It's the Crystal Palace. All the inventions.
So this is what ambition looks like.
The stenograph, the looms, and the telephones. It's all here.
Welcome, young visitors. Look around. This is the age of improvement. Our dream reached far beyond the smoke.
Thank you for showing us.
And as they gazed upon the shining glass of progress, they understood that the middle class was more than a social group. It was a movement of hope, responsibility, and transformation.
Did you guys see what I think of? The factories, the shop, the people. It all felt clear.
Maybe it's just was a dream. Maybe it's just was a lesson.
The middle class didn't rise for magic. Heroes by feet, work in vain.
And so, the story of the Victorian middle class lives on, a reminder that greatness is not inherited but earned, that every small effort, every honest work, and every lesson learned builds the future, brick by brick, like the Victorians once.